The following is a conversation with Bobby Lee, a stand-up comedian and podcaster and one of the funniest humans on the planet, and just someone who brings joy to my heart with a mix of non-sequitur absurdity, darkness, and the singing voice of an angel. In all seriousness, Bobby is just a beautiful human being. I've been a fan of his for 20 years, since his time on Mad TV to today with his podcast TigerBelly that he does with his other half, the love of his life, Khalyla, and the podcast Bad Friends that he does with Andrew Santino. Now, a quick few-second mention of each sponsor. Check them out in the description. It's the best way to support this podcast. We got Brave for web browsing, GiveWell for charity, Linode for cloud computing, Onnit for supplements, and Indeed for hiring. Choose wisely, my friends. And now, onto the full ad reads. As always, no ads in the middle. I try to make these interesting, but if you skip them, please still check out our sponsors. I enjoy their stuff. Maybe you will too. This show is brought to you by my favorite browser, Brave. It's fast, privacy-preserving. It feels like Google Chrome, but without the ads or the various kinds of tracking that ads can do. I love using it more than any other browser. What can I say except the fact that this thing is just fast, it's sexy. It's really great to see innovation in this space after sort of decades of browser wars, that the man himself, Brendan Eich, behind JavaScript and Mozilla, would come again with this brilliant new challenge to the big players, reinvigorating the, I don't want to say browser wars, but friendly browser competitions, and just being innovative in the space. It's really, really exciting to see. So I think you would love it as much as I do, but even on top of that, it's just great to support this kind of innovation. Get it at brave.com/Lex, and it might become your favorite browser, as it is for me. Another thing I should definitely mention is they have their own Brave search engine. Check it out, all at brave.com/Lex. This show is also brought to you by GiveWell. They research charitable organizations and only recommend the highest impact evidence-backed charities. Over 50,000 donors have used GiveWell to donate more than $750 million. This idea of giving your money in an optimal way, optimal meaning it does the most help for the world or alleviates the most suffering in the world. This idea is the idea of effective altruism. When you look across space, when you look across time, how do I make sure that my money, my time, my effort is maximized in terms of the amount of help I provide to the world? GiveWell wants to empower people to make informed decisions about their donations, so they publish all of their research and recommendations on their site for free, no sign-up required. They allocate tax-deductible donations to the charity of your choice without taking a cut. Go to givewell.org, pick podcast, and select this Lex Friedman podcast to check out. They want me to tell you to make sure they know that you heard about GiveWell from the Lex Friedman podcast. Again, that's givewell.org. This episode is also brought to you by Linode, Linux virtual machines. Whenever I say Linux, whenever I think of Linode, it brings a smile to my face. It warms my heart because I love computer infrastructure done well. The interface, the customer support, just the way it looks, the way it feels, the options in terms of pricing and configurations that are provided, how easy it is to change those options, how easy it is to develop, deploy at scale, whatever the applications. It's fast, it's easy. I just love it when people do infrastructure, cloud infrastructure well. This is good for both personal projects, like small personal projects, or gigantic, huge, enormous, huge systems. Lower cost than AWS, but more important to me is the customer service, 24/7, 365. It's great. As they say, if it runs on Linux, it runs on Linode. Visit linode.com/Lex and click on the Create Free Account button to get started with $100 in free credit. This episode is also brought to you by Onnit, a nutrition, supplement, and fitness company. They make Alpha Brain, a supplement you may have heard of, especially if you listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. It's a nootropic that helps support memory, mental speed, and focus. I use it to boost my mind when I'm going into a deep work session. If there's a particularly difficult 2, 3, 4 hour session when I have to think through a problem, I'll take an Alpha Brain. It helps me clear the mind and achieve focus. When I know I'm going to go down difficult side roads that potentially and often do lead to dead ends, that's the most frustrating. That's the most difficult thinking I have to do, because then you have to backtrack and return to the main road inside the mind. That requires focus and patience and persistence and perseverance. Alpha Brain helps. I don't take it every day. I take it when I really need it. Go to lexfriedman.com/onnit to get up to 10% off of Alpha Brain. That's lexfriedman.com/onnit. This show is also brought to you by Indeed, a hiring website. I've used them as part of many hiring efforts I've done for the teams I've led in the past. They have tools like Indeed Instant Match, giving you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description immediately. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Few things are as important in life as who you surround yourself with. That means relationship, that means friendship, and that certainly means people at work. You spend so much of your time at work. You do some of the most difficult things, some of the most challenging, some of the most rewarding, some of the most meaningful things in your life are done at work. The team is essential. It's a source of growth. It's a source of happiness. Anyway, right now get a free $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Lex. Get it at Indeed.com/Lex. Offer is good for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Go to Indeed.com/Lex. This is the Lex Friedman Podcast, and here is my conversation with Bobby Lee. I've been a fan of yours for many, many years. I think you're one of the funniest people in the world. I've been a fan since Matt TV days 20 years ago to today with TigerBelly. So given your status as a world-class comedian, how did it feel that you were not invited to Andrew Schultz's wedding and I was?
Well, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. I was the least funny person there.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was thinking, isn't that funny that Bobby Lee's not there?
Yeah. All my life, I always felt like people didn't like me and they didn't want to invite me to things. You know what I mean? I think that's fundamentally the reason why I do what I do. So it really did hurt a lot. And I had resentments. I did some revenge fantasies about how I'm going to get revenge on him and stuff.
Yeah. On him specifically.
Him specifically.
Okay.
Like have a big wedding, invite everyone, you know what I mean, except him, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just write him a letter like, see, that's how it feels, or whatever. But instead of that, because I'm in therapy and stuff, I'm just kind of like trying to let it go. What did you do there? This right here. Why'd you do that?
I forgot to start the timer. And now it starts. You want to
start over?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do it again. Take two. No, you still feel like an outsider? You're exceptionally successful, May Domain. You still feel?
Yeah. You know, I'm doing a Netflix show tonight with Andrew Santino at the Comedy Store and this and that. But like last night, you know, I just felt like I wasn't a part of. In fact, on stage, I even mentioned it. I go, Netflix, they don't like me. You know what I mean? And I just say things like that. They're not true. And this is something that I want to correct with myself because I have this internal dialogue that's based on just the past, and 99% of the things that go on in my mind aren't true. And I'm just at a point in my life where I don't want to live like that anymore.
Really? Because I'm the same way. I'm deeply self-critical all the time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an engine that drives you to do stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you the kind of freedom that I would like. Don't you want to be truly free from your mind? Free from negative thoughts?
No, I'm free part of the day, but some of the day I spend being extremely self-critical, and that drives you because I'm afraid I'll become ultra lazy otherwise. Because I love life. I love being comfortable. I love just relaxing. I need very few things in life. and so I'm afraid I'll just get like super lazy.
Oh, are you a minimalist?
Yeah.
So if I went to your house in Austin, do you have a couch?
I recently this is the first couch I've gotten ever
Uh-huh.
because the guests were complaining because I also record the podcast there.
Mm.
The guests were complaining there's nowhere to sit. I have no chairs, no couch. I sleep on the floor, like a mattress is on the floor. Not out of principle, I think, out of some kind of minimalist momentum.
Minimalist. So we're the opposite in that way then.
Oh, so you like stuff?
I'm not a hoarder, but because I can throw things away, but I have a shopping addiction, I think. Like when I'm on the road, like I was in Oklahoma for 2 weeks, I bought a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? And
Like
then
what?
oh my God, I went to Todd Snyder and I bought these shoes, you know?
Yeah.
Because,
But you're wearing them, so they're actually you're using them, and they're giving value to your life. That's awesome.
yeah, but this is the last time I'm going to wear these.
This is a one time.
Yeah,
This is like a wedding, but it's a red
one-time deal.
carpet dress. Who's the designer? Do you know?
I don't know anything
What
about
are you
it.
wearing, Bobby?
I don't know what I'm wearing, but because I'm on a native show called Reservation Dogs, right? I just want to get into the spirit of things.
That's your.
Yeah, because if I was ever like native and I was in a tribe back in the day, you know what I mean? I would have been a gatherer. Yeah, I'm
not
not
a hunter.
No, I'm gonna weave baskets with the ladies.
Yeah,
I want to pick berries with the ladies.
you wouldn't be the chieftain.
No. And I would make after the hunt. I would probably let some of the guys make love to me.
Oh, yeah.
Not because I'm gay, not just because I'm
yeah,
eating
you
that
have
way.
to.
Yeah. I want them to like me.
There's a power hierarchy, and you got to know your place in the hierarchy.
Yeah, you're alpha male then.
I don't even know what that means.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan is the definition of alpha male.
To me, yeah. If there was a picture of alpha male in the dictionary, it would be Joe Rogan.
It would be Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So you hoard stuff, okay?
Yeah.
But you can throw it. When was the last time? Let me call you out on that. When was the last time you threw away something that's actually valuable?
Valuable,
like something valuable to you or valuable in general?
Most things that I buy aren't valuable to me. There are things that are valuable to me that are like keepsakes from my family and stuff that I will keep forever. So I like in terms of like an old photo of my father or whatnot. So those kind of things I keep. But when it comes to like, Aviator Nation sweats, like if somebody came over to my house and goes, "Hey, can I have 6 of those sweatshirts or whatever?" I'd be like, "Yeah, go take it."
Okay.
If my brother's come over to my house and just done a clearance, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take this, and this. I generally really don't have a problem with it.
So the self-critical voice is serving no purpose in terms of, because you're pretty, I'm a fan of yours, so you're known to be a little bit lazy sometimes.
100% lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the self-critical voice, don't you think that it's serving a purpose in fighting off the laziness, beating off the laziness?
The self-critical voice that I have, I've been able to compartment. How do you say it? Compartment?
Yeah, however you say it.
Yeah.
You're free.
Yeah. Put it in a compartment.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm able to I'm a good avoider. I'm good at avoidance. So, for instance, right now, to avoid, I've been playing Stardew Valley. Mm-hmm. You know what that is?
No. It's a phone game or?
No, it's a you can play it on your Switch, but it's on the Xbox, and it's a farming simulation game. And so I like to farm, you know what I mean? And so and playing video games and doing stuff like that distracts me from, you know what I mean, what really is going on.
Okay, you've mentioned elsewhere in terms of video games, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, did you play that?
Yeah, of course. It's probably my favorite game. If I could live in a world, you played Morrowind and Skyrim.
And I played Oblivion.
I
played a little bit of Morrowind, but I didn't like the graphics back then. But I really played the. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
I played the fuck out of Oblivion and Skyrim. Like 8 characters, played it all the way through. I have to do all the quests, that type of thing.
What's your favorite thing about those games? Why did you spend so much time in that world?
Because I like games that you can grind.
What do you mean by grind?
So like Stardew Valley, for instance, right? There's a lot of
back to the farming.
Back to farming, right?
Okay,
it's the same thing as Skyrim. The reason why I like it is
Yeah.
that there's a lot of I have to collect a lot of these things. You know what I mean? I have to just constantly pick things up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for instance, in Skyrim, there's a mushroom called blisterwort mushroom that you can pick, and then you can make it into some sort of formula, right?
Yeah.
Potion.
Yeah, that
right?
potion. Yep.
So I would spend literally human 12-hour days just going to every cave and picking up as much blisterwort as I could, like that kind of grinding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're actually the randomly generated quests that these games do,
Yeah.
designed for people like you. You don't get bored. That's the fun.
Yes, that's the fun for me.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always something to do, and I find like when you play a game that's linear, like there's certain games where you have to go this way, right? I don't like games like that.
Yeah.
I like open world games where I can make choices and I can grind if I want. Yeah.
Would you stay in that world if you could live in that world, in the Elder Scrolls world? That's how I feel.
In reality, or become like a animated thing in there?
Oh no, say like virtual reality. We're moving towards that direction.
Oh yeah.
If you look at Skyrim, you mentioned graphics, it's starting to get realistic.
Yeah.
Like I'll sometimes just walk around. I mean, it's been a while, but I'll just walk around in Skyrim.
Yeah.
You can there's code you can turn off enemies and you just walk around.
Really?
You can just listen to music and just walk around.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. Wouldn't you do that? Would you do it with me?
You sure?
We would have a house together?
Oh, I mean, live. I thought walk around.
No. No. If you and I were able to go into Skyrim, right, and walk around and live together,
would we make love?
No, man. Don't go there.
Okay.
No. Because we like girls, man. That's right.
But it's not gay. You told me it's not gay.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. All right. So you and I would.
Yeah, I would hunt. You would gather.
But in that world,
there's no hunting.
Yeah, but there is hunting. I would because we don't have to find out bandits. We have to fight. I'm not going to gather a bandit. I'm going to hunt them.
But I thought you said it's all about the potion. You don't need the bandits.
Okay, well, we could do this. You could be the guy that like defends our place. Yeah. Right. I'll gather all the blisterwort, all the white caps, all the mushrooms. I'll get all the food. You know what I mean? I'll go to Whiterun. Remember Whiterun? Yep. Right? Or Winterhold, and I'll do all the like quests that have nothing to do with. You know what I mean?
So no dragons, though? No
dragons, but we would have a banquet. We'd invite the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Right? The Fighters Guild, we'd definitely invite them. Yeah. Mages Guild, we'd invite them.
Are you a thief kind of guy?
I'm a thief guy. Yeah. I'm for life. Yeah, I'm a thief guy for life. Yeah.
And you still wouldn't invite Andrew Schultz to that?
No. But what a piece of shit, though, huh? Because let me just say something, okay? I just want to get back to that, okay?
Okay, sure.
So I met him at the Montreal Comedy Festival, and him and I are kindred souls. We really connected.
Yeah.
And he did my podcast. He's done it several times. Done his. We've like communicated on the phone, this and that. And to me, and then he invites Whitney Cummings, which Whitney is a good friend of mine. But what I'm saying is that I know Andrew as well as Whitney knows him. I don't think that Whitney knows him more than I do. Right?
What if it was a competition, like it was a tie? You know, and like NBA, like a Bobby Lee versus Whitney.
Yeah.
In what way do you think she's better? In what way do you think you're better?
I think it's all about gender optics.
Okay.
Right. So she's a comedian. He has all these alpha males coming, and he's like, "All right, I have one more seat left."
Yeah.
Whitney or Bobby, but Bobby's. Although I don't think there was a lot of Koreans there, so he could have used that card.
This is true.
Right, but I think he went for, Whitney's a woman. It's better for optics.
Okay, so she was a diversity hire for the wedding.
Yeah.
I see. It was pretty fun. It was pretty, I have to say, it was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I know.
His wife.
I get it.
Uh-huh. And then Whitney.
Are those the only comedians that were there?
I spent the whole time talking to Joe, so I think I don't think there was that many comedians. So I'm kind of joking about. It was a pretty small wedding.
Yeah.
So,
what do you talk to Joe about?
First of all, we're both grapplers, so we talk a lot about jiu-jitsu. We talk a lot about.
I'm a grappler.
Are you?
I was on the wrestling team in high school.
Yeah, I know this.
Is that a grappler? That to you, that if I don't know jiu-jitsu, is there only one kind of grappling that you like?
Yeah, there's levels to this game, I think. I just talked out. No. There's nothing more.
Yeah.
That's a surprising fact that you've dropped that. It almost feels like a lie because you've said that before that you were a wrestler in high school. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's funny that you say that because, and I'm going to call this a little controversy here, right? Mm-hmm. But Joe Rogan, one time came to me when he lived in LA. This is years ago, and he said, "You're a liar. Yeah. You've never grappled."
Yep.
And I go, "Yes, I did." You're a fucking liar. No, you didn't. Yeah. And at that time, I didn't have any photos to prove it. But if you look at my Instagram, I have photos. That I was a grappler
Of you as a young man dressed in a singlet or what?
on the wrestling
On
team.
the wrestling
If
team.
you go to the fucking sorry, if you go to my I'm sorry, if you go to my fucking
Yep.
high school,
Yep.
you're right. I was on the wrestling team for 3 years.
I'm not gonna go to your high school. So is there actual photo evidence of you
Yeah,
on your Instagram?
you know what? You're being like Rogan right now, and it really is.
How do we know it's not photoshopped?
Will you be the judge then, dude? Okay, so this is my brother and me in high school on the wrestling team.
Which it's you are yeah you're on
I'm the
right.
bottom.
No, you're
That's my brother
bottom.
to the left. I mean, yeah, to your right.
Oh, handsome.
Yeah, I'm not. That's
Bicep.
yeah.
How much do you weigh? Wow.
At the time, I weighed. I was on the 105 weight category.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I was also on the tennis team. What people don't realize is that I'm very athletic.
Okay.
Yeah. And I resent the fact that people that think that I'm not because I'm doughy.
You're an athlete, so which is very surprising to me.
Why?
That so I was invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
I've also been on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's a big fan of yours.
No, I love Joe. No, Joe. When Joe's and I see each other, we hug and stuff. We talk.
I just talked to him today. Said I'm talking to you. This is hilarious. So why? Oh, you hug him and you just never.
It just hasn't worked out. Like I don't want to go like, hey, because I don't want the rejection. So it's like if I go,
right,
hey, can I do it? And he goes, I don't know, man. I'm busy, man. I got a lot. I mean, maybe later. I don't want that. So if if he said, hey, are you available Thursday, this date, fly out, do my podcast, I would 100% do it.
And that hasn't happened yet. So interesting.
Why is it interesting?
I don't know, because you're like I said, you're one of the funniest people in the world. That'd be a great conversation. It's just funny it hasn't happened yet.
Well, it's like this conversation. It's like I just learned how to tell time.
Yeah.
Not like I know how to write digital.
You showed up on time today.
No, digital. I know how to write digital, obviously, but in terms of the hand clock,
yeah,
I just learned that 6 months ago.
How to operate a hand clock?
To read a hand clock.
Hand clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I obviously I'll be able to absorb the information. I'm one of those guys that just refuse to learn things if I just.
What did you think it was before?
I would look at it and I would try to sometimes, like if I was at a train station.
Yeah.
And I would look at those old clocks.
Yeah.
I would look at it and try to guess. And I would kind of go, I think this is the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like not fully, you know what I mean, really grasp.
So the way ancient people looked up at the sun to try to tell time, you looked at a clock to try to tell time.
Right. Like, for instance, like we don't look at the sun, right? So to me, it was an obsolete information to me. Because of digital.
You already had digital.
Yeah.
And so that's somehow comparable to you going on the Joe Rogan.
And you, because it's like, I don't know much about
podcasting.
No, podcasting I can, but in terms of like the singularity and all that stuff, like I know what it is, you know what I mean? When machines going to have consciousness, when is that going to happen?
Soon. Are you afraid of robots? See, if you were in Austin, I would show you some robots.
Oh, I'd love to.
Are you afraid of robots?
No, I love it.
You love robots.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I have this, I think to me, unless they become hostile and it becomes like the Terminator, which I think could happen, right? Mm-hmm. There'd be a Skynet, we have to bring it down, whatever.
Well, there's definitely going to be autonomous weapon systems. So a lot of the robotics research is being funded by the military.
Wow.
You know, the military industrial complex.
I know what that is, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of the cutting edge research is funded by DoD, Department of Defense, DARPA, and so on. So a lot of the robots will be used in war, but hopefully not. Most of consumer robotics will be in the home. I'm just trying to terrify you.
No. But can I ask you this, though?
Sure.
What you're saying to me is that, as a layperson, is that in my lifetime, that machines will have consciousness.
Oh, that I don't know.
Computers.
I'm one of the people. Well, depending, you live dangerously, so I don't know how long you're gonna live. So let's put. But I believe that consciousness, yes, could be engineered in a machine, or at least we can have machines that are human-like, and we believe they have consciousness.
Can I ask you one last question about it?
Yes.
Okay.
But just one more.
Will they have this smoothness of skin, and will they look realistic?
See, I'm one of those people that believes that visual appearance isn't the magic. So if you're blind, you can still have a connection with a person. People can fall in love with each other through just letters. So yeah, I know you're mocking me with your entire energy, but yes, yes, I believe that part too. You're talking about sex bots is what you're
No,
probably
not.
getting at.
No,
Okay,
no. Why would you?
intimacy,
Why would you?
just friends, but
What do you mean be friends?
you want to feel the smoothness
Yeah,
of
like
their
a
skin.
guy, just go, "What's up,
Friend,
dude?" and just rub
yeah,
his
just
face.
rub, just hug and
Yeah,
kiss,
yeah.
like on both cheeks, kind of thing.
I get what you're saying though, right? Obviously, there's no soul. You're right, but you know what I mean. And I'm just curious to see.
Have you
You're right. I
seen?
was going with sex bots, but like,
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen Whitney Cummings' robot?
yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah,
How did that make you feel?
she's a beautiful girl. I just don't find her attractive.
The robot or Whitney?
I find the robot way more attractive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if I had the choice, robot.
So you were turned on by the robot. See, I was surprised by the very thing you're saying, which is the realism of the skit. Like it was quite. They did a really good job on that robot.
Oh, they did.
The life when it's animated, the life is not quite there. You can tell it's a robot, but just sitting there still, it has a lot of human-like elements. The texture, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's quite
So
fascinating.
they're getting there.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about sex robots is most people that get sex robots, they don't get it for the sex. They get it for like intimacy, like not sexual intimacy, but like just somebody being there. It's
Right.
it's the emotional connection, not the sexual.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a long time ago a documentary about real dolls and people marrying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I was fascinated about is the cuddling, you know what I mean, and then watching TV together and stuff like that, which I find, you know, I've just been able to find human girlfriends and stuff. So I'm
That's
good in
really
that.
impressive.
Thank you.
That's one of the
Thanks.
reasons.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Hey, speaking of human girlfriends, I'd love your advice in this direction, but you have an amazing relationship with Khalyla.
Yeah.
So you two are very different. So you host the TigerBelly podcast together, but there's real love there. There's a real connection. What do you love most about Khalyla? Let's talk about love, Bobby Lee.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really pretty deep. I've never really gone down this path.
We're gonna walk down that path together, holding hands.
It's one of those things where the first time I met her, it was almost as if I had known her all my life. It was really weird. You know what I mean? There was a trust there, you know what I mean? That was just fundamentally there, that I could trust her and that I could, you know, when I look in the mirror and I see all my character defects and stuff, though a lot of those things aren't necessarily things I want to share with people because I don't want to be judged or ridiculed. But with her, I felt comfortable showing those things, and I think she feels the same way about her. And then secondly, she's funny. I mean, she made me laugh, and she's hot. It's all, you know what I mean, it was like a perfect combination of things, you know what I mean? One night we were in bed and I forgot what the joke was, but she really made me laugh one night. She was living in an apartment in Long Beach and I cackled, you know what I mean? And generally women don't make, I mean, not women I'm dating, comics do, don't make me cackle in that way. And then, thirdly, she's partly Asian. So it's like, you know, one time I dated a white girl,
Yeah.
and I invited her to Koreatown.
Are you about to be a racist?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I love about Asian girls is they'll eat something first and ask what it is after, but white girls ask what it is before. What is this? Right?
Yeah.
But Khalyla would eat the eyeball, eat everything, go, what did I just eat? I like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it reminds me of my mom in that way, in terms of like my mom growing up, just to scare us and freak us out. We'd have a fish and she would eat the eyeball first to see us squirm. And as a kid, that you thought was gross and weird and this and that. But it's like, you know, when Khalyla does it, it just kind of like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like at home.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I don't know.
Well, it's a little act of fearlessness. I like that. Just
Yeah.
eat. Just put in your mouth and figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I like. And at the end of the day, she also, out of all my girlfriends, and this is gonna sound not strange, but hard to admit, but my career when I met Khalyla was in the shit box. I could not get anything going, and this is at the time where Ken Jeong, who's a very good friend of mine, very talented, was getting everything.
Yeah.
And I just remember going, I can't even get an audition. Like, I can't. I would go on the road, Lex, and I would fill half the room. I just couldn't sell tickets. And when I met her, I was just kind of like, maybe this is I have to find love and open up my world in that way. And she was the first girlfriend that I ever had that looked at me and saw the potential. And she said, no, doesn't feel right. You're so funny and you're so relevant to me. And this is what we're going to do. And so she started TigerBelly, and then obviously I had the skill set to do it. But once TigerBelly happened, and then Andrew was like, let's do Bad Friends. And then now things are great. My career I'm too busy almost in a weird way. And I feel like she had a lot to do with, like, for instance, before I met her, even if I would get an audition, I wouldn't go because I just wouldn't get it. In my head, I was like, I'm not going to get this. I've gone on 1,000 of these and they just never hire me. But so I just didn't go on them for years. And then she was the first girlfriend that said, no, I don't care if you don't get it, right? I just don't want you to be a pussy. And I want you to walk through fear. And so she would drag me to these fucking things. And I, for some reason, would book them. You know what I mean? So, in
So
that
she
way.
saw the potential of what you could be, but
Yeah.
she loved you for who you are already,
Yes.
but also loved you for the potential that you could become.
Yeah. And I'm lucky in that way.
So on day one, you could show her. You said you could show her your flaws to her, like you felt like you could be fragile with her.
Well, I accidentally farted.
Yeah, or day one.
On day one.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fart machine.
Yeah.
And I have loose cheeks.
Yeah. I like how you for the listeners, he just winked at me.
Yeah. I have loose cheeks and
but not in a gay way.
Not in a gay way, no. And we were on a couch and we're talking and I kind of adjusted my body. I ripped one by accident and she laughed, you know what I mean? It wasn't embarrassing, and also I have a little penis. I have a little penis. And
it's all relative.
Yes, it's little.
But relative to an elephant, everybody's penis is little.
Yeah, but I'm not an elephant. I'm a human. You know what I mean? So relative to human, it's very small.
Okay.
And so when she saw it, you know what I mean? I thought she was going to balk at it.
Yeah.
Right? And she looked at it as if it was like an orphan. Like, like I want to, it's a lost child and I want to, take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cradle it.
Cradle it. Yeah. Well, you, man, you haven't met anybody like that?
Never met a girl. Never seen one of them. I hear they're nice. When are the two you getting married?
We don't know yet. Yeah.
Is that something you would like?
Yeah.
This comes up sometimes.
We're in couples counseling. We're working on some issues that we have.
Sure.
Every relationship, even my friendships, have issues. And so we're working through some issues. And once we get to the end of it, we'll figure it out.
Would you like to be a father one day? This is kind of couples counseling.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because I feel like, before I was very childlike, I play a lot of video games. I'm irresponsible. I'm lazy, this and that. Right. But, to be honest with you, Lex, in the last 6 months, I've really have come through some breakthroughs. And I'm in therapy and I'm doing a lot of things and really self-analyzing myself and my behaviors and what I want, my desires. And I think ultimately, yes, I really do. Because it's a life experience that, I don't want to be an old man looking back and going, it's something that I've always was interested in. And I think it's based on fear because I don't want to scar my child the way my parents scarred me. But at the same time, my parents didn't do the work on themselves like I am. And they were never about self improvement. They were just about, they were immigrants, and they wanted to put food on the table. And after that, they just went about their business. And I'm not like that. I would never be violent toward my kids like my parents were. My dad was very physically abusive, there was a lot of trauma and stuff. And so, as a kid, I thought, I just would never put my kid through this. So that's why I never wanted it. But I would completely do it differently, even yelling and those kind of things. I would be very mindful about those things. And I think that I have certain things, I'm not a sciencey guy like you, but there are life things that I've learned over the years that I could teach a child, about living in the moment or walking through fear or, things that, things will pass and just different things, that I would be a good listener. And, yeah, I would like to do that.
So your dad died in August of 2019.
Wow. Yeah. You did your research.
Yeah, it's on your Wikipedia. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you said some of it was rough, but what's your fondest memory of your dad?
Well, those memories happened later in life. As a child, my fondest memory was my mom, because he never spent time with us. So my mom made him take me out one day, and he took me to a park. Like there was no baseball glove or baseball or anything like that. And we sat on a park bench, right? And we just sat there for hours. We didn't talk because he didn't know English that well. I didn't know Korean. So it's just very, basic, information being, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How you, this is how we go, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm okay, good, good, good. That type of thing.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time. And then, but the day turned bad because I forgot my jacket there and he yelled at me.
But there's a bit of peace together.
At that time, yeah, there was peace. But then what happened was later in life, when I got Matt TV and I was doing, in my early years, I'd booked a couple of things like in 2000, I did The Tonight Show on Leno. And then I got Matt TV in 2000. And, wow, that was over 20 years ago. And, that's when my parents kind of went, huh, because obviously, there's some nepotism in Hollywood, right? But in my case, my parents were straight up immigrants. I had no connections to Hollywood. And I came up here poor, with no connections. And I built it, you know what I mean? Through the years, and in that way, I'm very proud of myself because I went through a lot of fucking hell and sadness and desperation and all that stuff. And I persevered and I did all that shit on my own, man. I booked the Tonight Show on my own. I got Matt TV on my own. And when I did those things, my parents were very proud.
But before that, did they doubt you?
Oh, yeah. You're not funny. You never make me laugh.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're never going to make it. You know what I mean? You're going to be poor all your life. That kind of stuff.
But Matt TV, he was proud? Your dad?
Well,
your
because it was a weekly show. So on Saturday nights, they would watch it.
They would?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would play characters that they would understand. Like I did Kim Jong-il at the time.
Yeah.
Right? So they loved that. Yeah. Right? They loved, the things that I would do. The physical comedy.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe in their mind. Imagine your parents from Korea coming here, not knowing the language, having a child here, right? And in their minds, that was never like an option, right? And so when they see their kid, I guess, on TV, especially there was no internet too at the time. The internet had just started. So to them, they were like, this is a miracle. In fact, when I did The Tonight Show, my dad called me the next day and asked me, how much? He literally asked me this. He goes, how much did you pay them to do it? He thought that I had saved all my money. Like that, like
Yeah.
he thought that like Tom Cruise goes up there and goes, "Here's $1,000. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on." Like you know what I mean? No, I go, no, they asked me. Like so, conceptually, they were just shocked by it. So when I got it, and then they were watching me weekly, Mad TV, the producers were like, "Hey, have your dad on." So my dad did 2 or 3 sketches on television. So those memories. I also did a pilot for Comedy Central, and he was on my pilot.
Pilot for like a show?
Yeah, show. I didn't get picked up, but he was on the pilot.
He was in the show?
Yeah, he was in the pilot. He was on Mad TV too, on television.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like he would get residual checks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those change everything. Those nepotism in reverse.
Yeah. It was really nepotism in reverse. And so those memories are I have very fond memories because he had changed as well. He was no longer that violent kind of a guy. He had softened a lot. You know what I mean? But when he died is when those issues came up, like a freight train.
The bad stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't know what was going on. It was really hard.
You miss him?
Yeah.
How often you think about him?
Every day. Obviously, a lot of it's regrets. You know what I mean?
Like what kind of regrets? Not having said something or not having had a conversation?
It's not regrets because even if he was still alive, they're just things that are impossibilities because of his culture and the way he was raised. But my regret in life will always be having those types of, even because I was with my mom a couple of months ago, and I looked at her and I had tears in my eyes. We're at a Starbucks. I go, Mom, I just want to let you know that I'm so sorry that you lived in that house and my dad, and dad hit you and you survived and you stayed in the marriage because of us, right? And you know what her response was? Let's go to Buca de Beppo. She wanted Italian food. Like there was nothing there,
Yeah.
right? And so my regret is that, that they just will never be able to even grasp the concept of that kind of communication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll never have it. So that's sad to me, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that callous that comes with an immigrant mentality. That emotional connection is not even there. I've had my grandmother.
Yeah.
There's something called Holodomor, which is starvation in Ukraine in the 1930s.
Wow.
That you had to live through. She lived through World War II, and there's nothing like the only way you survive that is the callous. You can't talk with people that fought in major wars. They can't.
They can't. Yeah,
can't talk about it.
My mom, when she was 12 years old, she walked her little sister, my aunt, to school. Right? She forgot a book, so my mom goes to my little sister, my aunt, "Stay here. I'm going to go get my book." She ran up. She came back. While she was gone, a military truck ran over my aunt. And my mom discovered her body, split in half, entrails, the whole thing. And my mom and my uncles had to go and get rice bags to pick up her, you know what I mean? And then bury my aunt. When you live through something like that. And also the guilt. Because my mom believes deep down that if she didn't forget that book, that my aunt would still be alive, right? So she carries all this guilt and to survive all that trauma, you have to build a callus. Back then, they didn't have EMDR and therapists and psychologists and any of that, right? So they had to survive. So that's who she is. And it's sad to me that, you know what I mean? That she'll forever live in that torment.
Boy.
Yeah.
What about your own? What's been the darkest place you ever gone in your mind?
Oh my God. You wrote that down? In my mind?
In your mind. You ever consider suicide?
Have you?
I didn't write that down.
Okay, have you considered it?
In the distance.
Yeah. I've distantly thought about it. About 4 months ago, I was in a really bad place. I was naked in a hotel room in Arizona. I hadn't eaten in like almost a week. I hadn't slept in over a week. I haven't slept, and I thought I was dying. I was coughing up blood, and I was waiting to go into a outpatient psychologist place. You know what I mean, in Arizona. I literally thought I was dying. So recently, I was in a very dark place.
How much was that connected to losing your father? How much was that connected to rehab and that kind of stuff? Alcohol,
It's all the
drugs.
same thing, dude. It's all the same thing, man. It's all from my childhood, right? The reason why I do stand up is because of my childhood.
The hating yourself or like being self-critical that has to do with your childhood.
Yes.
So the drugs and drinking is
It's
childhood.
childhood. It's all about survival and protecting your heart, and there were ways that I did that as a kid, like using humor as defense mechanism, and also avoidance of all emotions, you know what I mean? Because I just want to feel. And the reason why comedy is so good, the reason why I was able to survive in comedy is because I can withstand a lot of bullshit and pain. You know what I mean? Like physical, emotional, spiritual pain. I can absorb it, right? But now what's happened, later in life is I'm unwilling to do that. I'm unwilling to absorb it. I'm unwilling to carry this weight around with me, and it'll kill me. So I am doing everything I can to free myself of all this baggage.
Okay, so how you're naked in Arizona in a hotel room, face down or face up or on the side? Or what's your
So
favorite when you go to a dark place?
no,
On the
no.
floor, on the bed, or
So what happened was
bathtub, shower?
a fetal position.
Okay,
I don't lay on my stomach. That's weird. Like I'm not doing like a downward
okay,
dog or yoga position or anything like that. No, I'm
sure.
like I'm
On the bed, on the
no.
floor.
What happened was, so I had a relapse. So I was doing drinking all night long.
What was the first relapse? What is the first thing you did? Just drank what? Wine?
No, I
Uh,
took an edible. Yeah,
and that opened the door.
to drinking. Yeah, and the combination is not good for me. Um, and the excess of the amount is not good for me. I just can't stop, and I do it 24 hours a day.
Were you alone?
Well, no, I was living with Khalyla.
No, I mean at that moment when you do the edibles.
I was alone. No, I took a flight because I was shooting Magnum. I'm on a show called Magnum PI, so I was flying to Hawaii. So I bought edibles, and then on right before I was gonna get on the plane, I looked at my girlfriend and said, "I'm gonna relapse."
Oh, so you knew.
I knew. So I got on the plane. I took it, and then literally the next 3 months were like a blur.
Why'd you know? What gave you the sense that you're gonna relapse?
There was a couple of things that happened in my life that were very shocking to me, and I I wasn't going to meetings, and it's the same old story. I was not connected to my sobriety brothers and sisters, and I was drifting away, and
And something in your mind, it was just
I
too
just the
much.
pain was too much. So I did it, and then so what happened was now 2.5 months in, 3 months in, I started coughing up chunks of blood. Right. So because I've been a smoker since I was 17 years old. Right. And I was smoking so much weed and cigarettes that I would just cough up blood. But then simultaneously, what happened was Bob Saget and Louis Anderson died. Right. And that week, when I was coughing up blood, and because I knew them, both of them, I just in my head going, I'm next. Because to me, everything happens in threes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I had convinced myself that I was going to die. and I was on the precipice of death. And so I begged my people to put me into this place in Arizona. So because I knew I needed to go to a really rigorous psychology program to get me out of what I was going through. And also I was getting at that time when I was in that hotel room, I had not drank or even smoked a cigarette or done drug in a week. I had to wait in LA for this bed to open up, right? So I was coughing up blood. I hadn't slept. I hadn't eaten, right? I was sober, but, I was in so much pain. And I slept naked by the door of this hotel room because I thought it would be easier for the maid to discover my body. I mean, that's how fucked up I was. I was just in this prison in my mind, and I'm much better now.
Can you give some insights to how to get out of that place? How you got out of that place?
I think getting sober, first of all, was very important, but that still didn't do it completely. You know what I mean? I still was convinced that I was. And then I went to this place and I did, this place is a 12 hours a day psychotherapy place where you do 12 hours you see therapists all day long.
So it's like a 12-hour long podcast every day?
Yeah. But with professionals and they call you on your shit and they tell you what's real and they tell you, what I mean, I'm going also dealing with, my dad, still some of these other things that what I mean? And the third thing that happened was when I got back to LA after that place, I got my lungs checked out and I got my physical done and EKG, my heart, all of it, and I was completely fine. And I quit smoking. I haven't smoked in almost 4 months. I haven't drank and done drugs since then too. So there's definitely a complete clarity. And I have to also admit that this time around it's just been completely different.
Is there still in the distance a fear of relapse and all that kind of stuff? Is that still...
No.
So you feel good?
I feel great, yeah. I feel better than I've ever felt.
Even when hard shit happens?
Yeah, because it's like I no longer want to be in that place.
Yeah.
And also on top of it, it's like it would be a real shame because I've worked so hard to get to this place in my life, not just in my career, with all of it. You know what I mean? I have so much to lose. I have so many people that love me. I just don't want to be there again,
Let me ask you, sorry, you've talked about this before, but it's interesting.
Let me ask you a question. Do you always wear a suit only for the podcast?
Yeah, I wear it in private too.
Oh, you do?
Not always now, because I get recognized, unfortunately, so I have to be selective about how I wear.
Do you like it when being recognized or no?
So because of podcasting, as you probably know, the people that at least recognize me happen to be amazing people. So it's an immediate connection. So there's two things about that I don't like. So one, I fall in love with people, and so the nature of interaction is like, well, it's gonna be short. So
yeah.
So like you have to say goodbye. And I hate goodbyes.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is just introversion. Like I'm an introvert. I have social anxiety. I'm nervous about talking to people and so on. So you have to I'm walking around always a little bit anxious that there'll be an interaction. But ultimately, once it starts, it's fun. It's beautiful, and then the goodbye is what hurts. So both the hello and the goodbye is what hurts. It's the stuff in the middle that's delicious.
I think there's a beautiful thing though for people like you and I in a weird way, because number one, I don't know about you, but I'm an isolator. I don't really like any kind of social thing. I like even when I was doing drugs and drinking, I never do it with people. I do it privately in a garage, And secondly, my girlfriend and I watched The Northman, the movie The Northman.
No, what is it? Does it tell me the plot line?
You didn't even heard of The Northman?
I have not heard of The Northman.
It's Eggers. He did a movie called The Witch. He also did a movie called The Lighthouse. You ever see The Lighthouse? Okay. You watch movies.
No.
You've never seen a movie.
I've seen The Godfather.
Yeah. I bet you money you've seen Dr. Zhivago.
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah, like you like historical sweeping.
Yeah, Schindler's List.
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not historical or sweeping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna. All right, so how do I explain? It's basically a Viking movie.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and one of the Skarsgård, I don't know, Skarsgård brothers is in it. Bjork's in it. Willem Dafoe, Nicole Kidman,
Mhm.
and Ethan Hawke, and it's it's a Viking revenge movie.
So why does it make you think about isolation?
No, because what I was going to say is when we went to the movie theater, right? Afterwards, there was a kid sitting next to me, and he just looks at me because I guess he didn't know I was sitting next to him or whatever, and he just went, hey, dude, I just can't believe you're sitting next to me, and you're my hero, and I'm doing comedy, and it's really hard. So I was able to give him some encouraging things, and because that's who I am too. You know what I mean? I want to help people, and I also you know, the idea that he likes me because he also spouted off specifics about my life, about my comedy and this and that. So he definitely was a fan, and I was able to, I'm not even if I become Joe Rogan famous or that big, you know what I mean? I'm always going to say hi to people. I'm always gonna take photos with people. I like that part, of me. It makes me feel also that I belong in a weird way because I felt so invisible before I did comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt invisible. And it puts me in the game of life, I think, in a weird way, So I think it's good for you as well.
Yeah, it's a little moment of experiencing love. It's like
Yes.
it does feel like celebrating life together. You smile at each other and so on. Although you did say, I think in a recent podcast that people recognize you, but recognize you incorrectly.
That I don't like. That's the opposite of love.
Okay.
Yeah, that I don't like. Loved you in The Hangover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I or this is what I don't like. This is why I hate this.
Yes.
Some guy will like me, right? I'll take a photo, and then other people will go, "Huh, he's somebody," and will walk up to me and go, "Hey, so why did he take a photo? You know what I mean? I want a photo."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "No, I don't do. Would you do that? No, I would. I don't like that."
No.
Yeah.
No. But I do like the experience where maybe there's a couple, a guy and a girl, boyfriend and girlfriend, and the guy is a fan, and the girlfriend has no idea, and it's always a funny interaction.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like trying to figure out what is happening here.
Yeah.
And it's always beautiful to see.
But what if the guy explains to his girlfriend who you are? Do you feel uncomfortable about that? Do you like that?
Yeah. It loads. The information is transferred quickly, and she starts to understand because she's not used to her boyfriend being excited about a stranger.
Yeah.
It's like what's happening here? So it's a fascinating little dynamic. That's a beautiful. It's like the spread of information happens right there in real life. It's beautiful.
It's mostly though. Would you say that it's probably usually men that recognize you, or
No,
is it a
but
combination?
men. The thing I've discovered is men are more likely to approach aggressively. Right? Women recognize you. They have a different way of like double take. They don't want to invade your space. Guys are like, bro.
Yeah.
They come in with a hug. I had South by Southwest. I had a guy. I was just walking to a 7. I go to 7-Eleven a lot. My favorite spot. Guy
7-Eleven?
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Why?
Sugar-free slushy. I think.
Oh, you like
For happiness. I find happiness at a 7-Eleven
so adorable.
late at night. And he came up and you know what? Can I tell you something that happened to me? I haven't told anybody. This never happened to me before. I was outside of a 7-Eleven in Austin. I'm not going to say which one. And there was a gentleman that approached me. This was at 3 or 4 at night, which is usually when I go. I program all night and I just like to go and take a break. He approached me in the way that maybe somebody who recognized me approached me. He did a double take. He walked past me and then walked back and then looked at me. And I went into the 7-Eleven. I thought, that's weird. And then I came out with my slushie. And then he approached me and he said, "Can I give you a blowjob?" So I have never. I have.
No, really?
Yeah. So the energy he put, I've never had.
Were you wearing a suit?
No.
Okay.
I was wearing like the sweatpants, and I was very kind of like hiding from the world.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I've never had anybody approach me that way, but the energy he put, the love he had in the approach, I thought he would be like,
Love you on Rogan?
yeah, love, yeah, something,
Yeah.
something like love, some kind of, and then he just said, "Can I?" I'm forgetting the exact wording because it wasn't. The wording was such that he wasn't. He wanted to make me happy. He didn't want to make himself happy. He wanted to make me happy.
Well, when
I forgot, can I give you a blowjob? I think that was the thing. And it's like,
because if he said, "Can you give me a blowjob?" It would be
it would be very different.
Yeah.
No, but I think there's more aggressive way of phrasing that. But he presented himself. See, I forget. It was almost like gentle and poetic. And I was like, I just stuttered and said, no, thank you. Move past.
That's what everyone does. Yeah.
No, thank you to a blowjob
Well, no, I would
proposition.
probably stutter. No, thank you.
In my mind, I was like, is this a threat? Because it's Fortnite. I wasn't exactly sure. I mean, I've never experienced it. I imagine this is what sort of women often experience, the kind of the danger, the constant threat all around you. But I've never. This just it was a funny little moment. I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
that happened, and I go to that 7-Eleven often looking for the guy. Because now I would say yes. No,
there used to be a steam room in Beverly on Beverly Boulevard, and my brother and I walked in there once, and we walked in, and there was a man sitting there, erection, and his dick was so big he was jerking it off with both hands, and we kind of walked in, and he goes, "What's up?" And he just did it,
kept going,
and we just sat there. You know what I mean? Because it was not aggressive.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the same feel. You sense that it wasn't an aggressive thing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. It was just he was just minding his own business and he threw it out.
But it wasn't sexual either. It was like, it's just, it's like love or something. I felt like it's almost like, can I give you a hug?
Right. Then why don't you just take it?
I keep looking for it. Next time I see it, but not in a gay way.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear about that.
Did you grow up in Russia or Ukraine?
Russia.
In Russia.
Yeah.
But your grandmother was in
my
Ukraine?
father is Ukrainian.
Oh, your
my grandmother is Ukrainian. So if you just look at the full family tree, it's about half and half is Russian.
There's a lot of conflict with you right now.
Internally, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask. You've talked about this before, but I'd love to sort of re-explore this. Is Carlos Mencia?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why
go there again?
Yeah. I'm willing to do it, but do you like Carlos?
Well, first of all, I'm friends with Joe, and I remember being a fan of. I'm outside this whole world. I remember thinking Carlos was funny.
Yeah.
So I just as a fan, I was like, "Oh, funny." And then I remember this big controversy about him stealing jokes, and because I'm a fan of yours, it's such an interesting human dynamic, and I'm a fan of friendship and loyalty. And you had a great podcast conversation with him. It was tense.
It's so tense.
It was very tense.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. And it kind of, makes me think of you talking to your father on that bench. So maybe
that's essentially what it was.
Some of it wasn't getting through. But maybe, how do you feel about that whole thing about the guy? I mean, he's a friend. He gave you a lot. But you're also a comedian, so stealing jokes is no good. But also there's like I don't know, all the tensions in your heart about all that whole thing. How do you feel about it? Do you forgive him?
Okay, let's go back to it's very Shakespearean in a very weird way, right? Because there's some betrayal there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of drama when it comes to that situation. Again, also, I'm a very loyal guy. Like, I've had the same manager since the late 90s. And I've had every gigantic manager want to sign me, even though my manager is great, right? She's in a big company, right? And there's only so much she can do. And maybe, you know what I mean? My career would have been different if I would have signed with a bigger management. I don't know, right? But I'll never leave her, you know? I'll never leave my agent, Matt, you know? The people go, well, you're at CAA. That's amazing. The only reason why I'm at CAA is because of Matt Blake, you know? So there are certain loyalties that I have. The Comedy Store, you know, I mean, I generally play the Comedy Store mostly because my loyalties are with them. I don't know if that's a good trait, but it's just the way I am, right?
I admire that. Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to Carlos, you know, in the mid 90s is when I met him. I was a doorman at the La Jolla Comedy Store. He brought me on the road. He introduced me to Matt Blake, my agent, right? And he bought me a car. You know, when I couldn't pay rent, you know, and I was really desperate, I could always go to him for money, you know, and he helped me out in so many different ways, right? So, in, you know, I really appreciate that. Paulie did the same thing. Um, so anyway, and then all of a sudden, and I always knew going on the road with him that number one, I found it odd that he never had a notebook. You know, usually, you know, comics riff with each other and they write things down. You know what I mean? Me, I'll get together with people and write. You know what I mean? I'll do a new joke night because I'm too scared to try it in front of a packed room or whatever it might be. Okay. He never did that. Right. And he had hours of material. And, you know, a lot of it was derivative of other people's. He would sometimes hear a bit, change it to Mexican. Like, for instance, if, you know, if Paul Mooney had a joke about black people, he would change it a bit. But premise wise, it was always extremely too similar. And there are examples on the internet. So, you know, you can't, there's things that you can't really deny. And so when that whole thing happened, you know, it was like the Titanic. I mean, I was either going to sink with Carlos or survive. And I did the worst, not the worst thing, but I made a difficult decision. And my decision was to cut ties. And, you know, over the years, have felt very guilty about it in some respects. But, you know, there is always in my mind, I want to help him. You know, I want to help him reestablish some sort of a different, you know, route for him to go in terms of his career and whatnot. And so I had him on my podcast and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. You know, I mean, I've always believed if he just fully just was apologetic and said, you know, I'm sorry for stealing in general because we don't know specifically. I mean, there's specifics, you know what I mean? And I don't want to argue every case, you know? So I thought the healthiest thing to do was like in a broad way, listen, I stole. I'm so sorry. These are the reasons why. And I'm a different guy now, but it just never happened in that way. And so it's been difficult.
So you don't think he self-reflected looking in the mirror about mistakes of the past at all? Like, do you think he's aware?
I think it's ego. You know, I think that he, for one reason or another, um, because there are probably jokes that he legitimately in his heart know that he wrote that people are accusing of stealing, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, we don't know, right?
Right.
So it's like, just apologize for all of it, right? But he won't. He fights for every, you know, every point. And, you know, I just think that that's not the route. And I mean, he's always going to make money. He's, you know, but he's never going to be what he should be, which is he's a powerful performer. You know, in terms of laughs,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I wouldn't want to follow him.
Yeah.
He's a crusher, you know? So it's like, you know, it's really, he can act. He has all the skill sets. It's just that to me, he went about it in the wrong way, and it's sad to me. And but I'll always love him. I've always will thank him for all the help that he's done.
So you still got room in your heart for him.
I have room for my heart for a lot of
Loyalty.
people, man. You know,
Hitler? All right. What was returning back to TigerBelly?
Yeah.
Because you said Khalyla basically started it. What's the origin story of TigerBelly?
When I met her,
Oh, by the way, for people listening, in case you somehow don't know, TigerBelly is a podcast you do. It's an amazing podcast. You also do Bad Friends with Andrew Santino,
yeah.
so on.
Thank you so much for the plug. Appreciate it.
I don't know. It's context, not the plug. It's
Can I plug
context.
other things though? Since we're doing it?
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
what's your?
I'm on a show called.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Thank you. So,
what's the name of the show you're on?
I'm on a couple.
A couple shows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Fine.
good for you. Netflix. It's
No.
Okay.
I'm on Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Yeah. I'm on Reservation Dogs. It's an FX show.
Wait, Sex in the City is not a joke?
No, I am actually on Sex in the City.
Wait, are they rebooting the show?
They did.
Okay.
It's called And Just Like That, Sex in the City.
Oh, and you're on it.
Yeah.
Is this not a joke?
You can Google it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Who do you play?
I play a podcaster on it. On the show, Sarah Jessica Parker's Carrie has a podcast, and I'm her podcast partner.
Oh, got it. Perfect. Beautiful.
But I'm also now my storyline. Anyway, it's fine.
Do you sleep with somebody on there?
I am married on the show. Yeah, they showed I'm married to a young lady on it. Yeah.
All right. It felt like it felt like it.
I know, because you don't think doing it. I look around going, "Are you sure I'm supposed to be on this?" You know what I mean? I do feel that, but lo and behold, I'm on it.
Yeah, you are.
So, I started this way. So, my friend David Cho, do you know him?
Mm-hmm.
He's an artist. He used to have a podcast, right, called DVD ASA, and he used to have me on it. And then Khalyla started doing it, and then when DVD ASA ended, Khalyla was just like, "Let's start our own," and I was like, "Nah, it's not going to work." So she goes, "Well, fine, I'm going to just do it on my own then." So she went and bought the equipment, and we were living in a condo at the time in Hollywood, and she would do them on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She did probably 3 on her own. And one day I was watching television. The door was open to the podcast room, and I turned around, and she was literally like this, dude. We had a table like this. She had the mic and all that stuff, and she was doing this. She was like slumped over like this. And I just kind of went, fuck it. So I walked in there and go, all right, let's just do one.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
And then chemistry was there immediately.
Well, I already knew that she could do it because of DVDSA, right? So I already knew that she had the skill set. It's, it's just all about, even in this conversation that you and I had today, right? There are gaps of like, oh, what else should we talk about? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Or like, I don't know what direction, right? And it's all about the old improv rule. Adding information. Even if you don't know what you're going to say, just fill the dead space with something. Like, so if right now, if we had we stopped talking about something, I'd be like when I asked you, did you grow up in Russia or Ukraine? Right? Was one of those dead spaces where I was just like, let's just throw it out there, see where this goes. Right? Mm-hmm. And she has that ability to fill that dead space with information. That's all you need. Right? And she gets it in that way. So it's like when we, started doing it at DVDSA, I just knew that she had the skill set. So when we started doing it for TigerBelly, it was a given. She can do it. I've had girlfriends that wouldn't be able to do it. What are you doing? You have the skill set. You're a sciencey guy. You spend all night long, and doing whatever you're fucking doing, right? But you have this innate ability to do it, right? And I think it's a talent. Do you think it's a talent? No, do you think you have talent? What are you doing? I know what you're doing, not adding information. I know what you're doing. That's a good bit. It's a good bit.
I kept doing it, and you kept filling the space. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, that is true, huh?
Because you're yes-anding yourself, which is great. The improv thing. That was really impressive.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you ever had a guest on that didn't add information, and then you had to keep doing it?
Yeah. But it's part of the magic, too. And sometimes I feel like they were actually giving me a gift of silence, and I was stepping on it. Like, for example, I had a conversation with Jocko, Jocko Willink. And every question I would ask him in the beginning, and I'm now better friends with him. It was the first time we met in that conversation. And I would ask him these long questions. I would mumble and meander and so on. And he would answer with yes or no. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then, but he'd do it in a strong, like Viking-like way. And I kept trying to go full, like, Bobby Lee style of create chaos and just keep talking and so on, as opposed to, I think he was inviting me more for the stoic type of silence, short sentences, that kind of conversation. So I fucked that up, I believe. But yeah, there's not the adding information part, but the adding chemistry part, where it's usually ego, where people don't realize there's a magic to be found between two humans, like genuine. It's like a first date, like that, to truly listen to each other and to do the yes and thing and have fun with it. When you have this energy, I'm way too important for this conversation. The information might be there, but the chemistry is not. So you have to remember that a lot of the podcasts I've done are like technical.
Yeah.
And so you could still say a lot of stuff about like this project, or whether it's physics or robotics or biology. You could say informational stuff, but the excitement, the magic is not there. But I often blame myself, because like if I'm excited, they'll be excited. I've learned this. So I'm learning I'm not allowed to have like a bored face, which my face naturally looks bored. But on the inside, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So it might be a Russian thing. I don't know.
It's not. Can I tell you why you're not boring?
Why?
Your face?
Why?
Because you have crow's feet.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
Is that what the thing?
Yeah. And the reason why you have crow's feet is you smile a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very expressive. I know white dudes. I don't trust white dudes.
Yeah.
Right? With no crow's feet. Right? Because that means they're not, accessing that part of their, face.
Yeah. Which is why I hate when, this is an LA thing, especially, women have talked to me about like Botox, and they hate the crow. They hate, not on me, on themselves.
Oh.
And they hate because it's all wrinkles and stuff like that. And to me, it's like, no, that's the magic.
That's the magic. It really is. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about TigerBelly is there's some weird like aesthetic to it. It's really unique. It's not just good, it's also unique. Like in the way that Wes Anderson films are unique, like Life Aquatic. I don't know if you know those films.
Yeah, I love those. I mean, those are my favorite films. Yeah.
What is that? It's not just the chemistry between you and Khalyla. It's like, what is that? Can you put a finger on it, or is it just like?
Well, it's essentially who I am. That's what all my houses have looked like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I've always been a collector of designer toys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've always been a collector of kind of weird artwork. Yeah, I've always been like that. I like weird wallpaper. Like instead of like going to a wallpaper store, what I'll do is I'll get artwork that I like from an artist, like, and get their approval, and go to a place and make wallpaper out of their artwork. You know what I mean? You can, like, if I wanted a Lex Friedman, your face on my wall, I would ask for your permission, and I would probably put your face on a gigantic wall. Like, I would do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
can you do that?
Yeah,
you have my permission.
I think I will.
Yeah.
I think I will just for the laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would do it
big, please.
Yeah. But my point is that it's essentially who I am on the inside, I guess, in terms of like my, I don't know. But I'm glad you said that, because I never even thought about that.
Yeah, you just
you just kind of do it like this, because all your podcasts have this black, ominous thing.
Yep.
You're wearing a black suit. You have a specific thing too. It's like,
yeah. But I don't really think, people ask me like, why do you wear a suit? I really don't. I just feel good in it.
Yeah,
it's just who I am.
And the reason why my podcast looks the way I do is because I feel comfortable in that environment, and it, like you. I don't try to think too much about what I'm doing on TigerBelly or even Bad Friends, right? Because when you start thinking about it and go, we should do this segment and I should, do it this way or this podcast does it this way. So what, no, I just show up, I keep my mind open, and I do the best I can. I add information like we talked about, and I just keep talking, right? And I try to be authentically myself. Like right now, I had this fear when I shit in your fucking bathroom, man,
Yeah.
because I was so scared.
Out of fear. You
Out
shit
of
out
fear.
of fear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, I was like kind of nervous because this whole week I was anticipating coming here.
Yeah.
And I watched the Mark Normand one.
Yeah.
I watched the Giannis one to see, how tonally. And last night, my girlfriend just looked at me and just goes, just show up.
Yeah. Khalyla knows who I am?
Dude, you think that, first of all, let me ask you something.
Yes.
You think I have the day, you know how busy I am, to drive all the way over here to West Hollywood to do your fucking thing? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because we are well aware of who you are and we like you.
Thank you, man.
God, and we want you on ours.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. I mean, that's the reason I'm doing this is just to get on your podcast.
You gotta get on it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I just mentioned to you offline. I got a chance to talk to Oliver Stone, and he asked me this thing, which is, how many listeners does this thing get? All that kind of stuff, and I don't even pay attention to that. So it's like I just don't.
A little bit though, you do? Don't.
I wrote extensions on my browsers where I don't see the number of views.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't pay attention.
Did you know that like some of your YouTube videos on interviews and stuff have over 1 million?
That I know. I know like loosely that like it bleeds through, but it's not part of my conscious like thing I think about. I've just seen it destroy people's minds where they're no longer thinking creatively. They don't feel good if something they do doesn't get as much attention as they thought it should. It just can destroy you, even though it's good. It could be great stuff you create that everybody ignores, but it was still great. It is still great, and sort of letting that negatively affect your mind is I don't know. I've seen it destroy people, so I'm very nervous about that.
It's like that old saying, never live in the results. It's like if I podcast I'd like initially, honestly, when I did TigerBelly, we made no money for the first couple of years.
Wow.
Like not enough to put a dent. I couldn't buy anything like, nice or anything. It was just side money, you know what I mean? I could buy some shoes once a month or whatever, right? And like I said before, my career was in the shitter, right? So TigerBelly wasn't like, this is going to be the thing, you know what I mean? It was just something to do with my girlfriend creatively, and it just so happens that it did do all these things for me, right? Podcasting, but yeah, I never, and still today, I don't do it for any of those things. I do it because it's fun.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, since you say why you love Khalyla, why do you love / hate George Kimmel, your producer? What's your favorite thing about him? Let's say that. Positive thing. Positive.
God, I didn't even ask this question. It's such a because it's like, I don't want to give him compliments, but I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Have you actually? I don't think you've publicly ever said anything positive.
I don't think I have either. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a real go here.
Okay. Yeah.
At the end of the day, when it comes to money, when it comes to responsibility, obviously this is a business now for you and me. It is. It's a side business, but it's a business, and you want to be able to trust the people that are running it. And I have 100% trust in everything that he does in terms of financial things, in terms of technical things, in terms of all of it. You know what I mean? Merchandise. And I have 100% belief in him. And that's rare, to find someone like that. Also, at the end of the day, I know his heart, and he really is a great guy. There's nothing about him. Like, for instance, he was over the other day and I go, I bought this key wooden thing that some native man made and I don't know how to put it on the wall. So I just, I go, hey, can you figure this out? And he goes, yeah, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, he's just that guy.
Yeah.
He's also, but there is a part of me, and this is probably wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that feels like I kind of made him.
Yeah, he would be nothing without you.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well,
I didn't fucking say that.
That's the way I heard it.
That's what I meant.
Okay. But that's not what you said.
There is, and it's probably wrong, right? Because he did all the things that he has in his life, he did on his own, right?
Right.
But still, for some reason...
He'd be nothing without you.
That's not what I'm saying, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, like, because when I met him, I was a part of this YouTube studio called Maker Studios, and he was just a producer there, and that's how I met him. And when he left Maker, he came to us, and he wasn't a podcast producer, and now he has this big company. He produces a bunch of podcasts, and he has a bunch of employees, and he has a nice business, and I feel like I had a lot to do with it.
So both the competence and the good heart.
Yeah.
What about Gilbert?
Yeah, Gilbert is a godsend as well. I don't know if because of let me ask you this, because you're a science guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting question for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe just that the universe gives you certain things at the right moment, at the right time? Do you believe that there is a mechanism out there where we're just a part of this machine that's kind of like almost as if things are just happening the way it's supposed to happen? Or do you think there's these random things that are occurring and it's chaos in that way?
Well, I don't know from a science perspective because I wouldn't be able to explain it, but I do believe you mentioned karma. There's a karma thing. It just, if you put love out there in the world, like certain doors open in a certain kind of way, like they're almost waiting for you and then you walk through them. So yes, in that way, I believe that it feels like not everything is like a basic like billiard ball model of like you have to fight for everything. You could just generally be cool to people and kind to people, and certain opportunities just pop up at the right moment.
More specifically, though, so for instance, let's suppose, like Gilbert, for instance, he just showed up at my house one day. I didn't know who he was. I had a fight night, and a friend brought him. Right, this is right when Khalyla and I were starting TigerBelly, right? And in conversation, he was like, "We didn't know how to engineer. We didn't have an engineer for our podcast." And that night, he was like, I know how to do it, right? And if I hadn't met him that night, he just wouldn't. I don't know if it would be as good. It would be completely different. And I really believe that we met him that night for a reason, So you don't believe that?
It's complicated. I believe that for love and these kinds of things, but I don't believe that as much for building a team. But that's the engineering thing. I think that's the artist in you. I'm less of an artist. I think artists thrive in the chaos of it. So it's not only that you guys met at that time, is you didn't probably ask in detail about his qualifications or didn't go through a rigorous thing. You just dove in and figured it out on the fly. I think that's sort of the artist ethic. I think with like if you're doing a startup or engineering, there's a little bit more rigor in the selection process.
But, I see what you're saying.
Because the same with Rogan, Jamie just walked up to him. Jamie Vernon, Jamie.
I know Jamie,
yeah. He just walked up in the same kind of situation, and they made it. Both of you have one of the best podcasts in the world, and so it's like, how did that? What?
Yeah, I believe that
it's very strange.
Yeah, it's strange.
Or maybe it's just like cool people hang out with cool people, so you kind of collide a lot.
But that's not true because that's not true because with Bad Friends, for instance, right? I've had 12 people before Andrew Santino that had asked me to do one with me, right? And they just didn't want to do it. Yeah. With Andrew though, it happened kind of organically and in a way that was almost like in my heart meant to happen. in a weird way.
That's a weird combination, by the way. So why was that the sticky one? Because you have a lot of comedian friends. Why Andrew?
Because number one, we both know just instinctually, without even talking about it, that in many ways we're polar opposites in terms of like energy, right? He's more aggressive. I also know I respond good with alpha males.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm more of a follower, you know what I mean? Or sensitive in that way. But in many ways, I am an alpha male in certain areas of my life, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to smashing, dog, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, so we both knew instinctually that in that way our chemistry worked, right? And also in terms of style and all that stuff is completely just, it was just an organic given to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you trust yourself with power? You play dictators?
What do you mean? Do I?
Like, because I feel like you would be, because you said you're not an alpha male, but in many ways, when you smash what's up and you winked at me, would you, what do you think about that? If I give you absolute power, would you be able to, how would you change?
What does absolute power mean? Like you said to me, listen, you're going to be the dictator of planet Earth and anything that you want is at your means.
Yeah, including violence, sex.
No, I would not. Because even in my personal life now, there are things that I could do, right? That I have power, I guess, that I don't participate in, right? So why would I do it if I had ultimate power? I mean, because there's still a moral and ethics that I have, right? That I don't feel comfortable with, right? So
you wouldn't even enjoy it.
No, I mean, I think that there would be if I had ultimate dictatorship on planet Earth, there would be no violence. I mean, I would not cause any wars, right? But if there's an uprising, I'd have to quell it.
That's how it starts, Bobby. You quell it with
don't uprise.
Right, but so first you're going to censor everybody who wants to even suggest the idea of uprising, and then one person gets out of line, they run a red light. Okay, that's.
But
you ever get angry in traffic?
Yeah, I get rageful.
So if you could murder that person,
no,
nobody has to know.
No, I would give them cancer. But I would not murder.
So much worse.
I would not. I know.
Okay.
No, but here, this is an interesting thing because I want to elaborate. All right. So the thing, if I was the dictator of the planet Earth, right, there would be a reason why people would uprise, right? So give me a reason, because I would give them food, shelter, right, and all the things I feel like that people would desire, right? But you're right. But you're right because you're right. I think this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So there are certain things that I do believe in, right? Like for instance, it's a very controversial thing, right? In terms of a woman's right, right? In terms of abortion, right? I feel like as a male, it's not my body, so I don't really even have an opinion, and I shouldn't even have a voice on it because, you know, what I mean, a woman, like it's like if they created laws. If white people, men, created laws for Koreans in America, like you don't have the right to, right? So it's like, so if I was a dictator, right, I would just be like, yeah, women have all the rights in the world, right? And they, you know, and I think abortion should be legal throughout the planet Earth, right? But there will be people out there that will believe that no, you know what I mean? We you know. We're pro-life.
So you would put them in jail.
So that's right. So I think as a dictator, there was no way to be able to please everyone. So there will be an uprising.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck it. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Would you do it?
Not. No. There's several loaded questions. Would I enjoy it? No. Would I do it? No, because I don't trust my own mind under power. Like I'm well aware that. In situations where I have control, it's as much a freedom as it is a burden. Like it can change you. I'm very nervous about that.
Like, interesting.
Like how much the ego starts to flare up. How much just like the less pleasant things about your nature come up. You know, I have a temper too. Like I have all that kind of stuff, and you have I'm sure you have a bit of a temper.
Yeah. I have a temper. Yeah.
And so whenever nobody is able to as clearly call you out on your bullshit, that could be a problem.
Do you have this when you rage out and you have a temper? Is there like either a day later or a couple hours later? Is there shame and regret that comes along with that, or no?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
During it.
Yeah, during it too. Yeah, shame and regret. Yeah.
And then, but I try to make sure it's like love and respect are felt always underneath the whole thing. But still, it's like human emotion. You can't control it. And if you give an absolute power, you start to lose your sense of the world. You start to be unable to see what is right and wrong. You think everything is right. You start to be have a distorted view of who is doing the wrong things in the world, and then also distrust. Well, that has to do more with how absolute power is usually attained, because when you're in the seat of power, everybody, first on the outside, but then in your inner circle, you start to distrust them. You start to believe that they want your power. So the people you love, the people that were source of so much beauty for you previously, like even like your girlfriend, wife, your closest lifelong friends, you start to suspect them.
I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're often right to suspect them.
So because you think they change a little bit too.
They change too.
Yeah.
They start to get a little bit taste of that power.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is a bunch of people in Hitler's inner circle at the very end betrayed him too in search of their own power.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, this power thing. Let me ask you a bunch of ridiculous questions real quick.
Okay.
If you can be someone else for a day, someone alive today who you haven't yet met, who would you be? For one day, you get to be, it could be female, male. There have to be a lot.
I've always wanted to see what a pop star was like.
Which one would you go?
Like Harry Styles.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm Harry Styles, right, I just want to see like what it'd like to go to the Beverly Center.
Okay.
As Harry Styles.
As Harry Styles.
Yeah. Or Coachella. Okay. Just walk around Coachella as Harry Styles. You know what I mean?
But you get a lot of attention, and it's a very specific kind of attention.
Yeah, I just want to see what that's like. I want to be able to, because the thing is that I want to be able to like see what it's like in terms of how easy would it be to get a hot chick.
Oh, I thought you meant to like get a table at a restaurant.
No. That you know, I can still do now as Bobby Lee, you know,
yeah.
But as Harry Styles, or I want to see what it'd be like and how that would go about, like how easy it would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you just walk up to the hottest chick at Coachella and start making out with them?
Yeah, that's interesting. Just to see
if you could.
System.
Yeah. Because I know as Bobby Lee, no. Could you? No, you couldn't do that.
No. It's an interesting reason.
Yeah.
So if you were the last person on Earth, like everybody disappeared, everybody's dead. What would your day look like? What would your days look like? What would you do?
That's interesting, because if I was able to figure out the, electricity,
right,
I think my days would be like, God, why didn't you learn about electricity?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You realize how little you know
about Why didn't you learn about these things? Because now you're going to die. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I think the first thing, obviously, is, now, let me ask you something. Why? Now, if you're saying that I'm the last person on planet Earth because there was an alien invasion and there's predators and things that I have to fucking look out for, that's one way. Yeah. But if I'm just, all of a sudden I wake up and just everyone's gone, and
everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
But there's no threat.
There's no threat. Then what I would do is I go, well, let's find a place to live. Not probably my house, right? So I'd probably live in a place where that's closest to grocery stores, right? So I would get food and stuff first, right? And then secondly, it's like, I'll probably go, you know what I thought about? What? I would probably go to San Marcos, San Diego Vista, because that's where the real doll factory is.
And just fuck all of them?
No. I would have to grab like 6 of them because I'm going to get lonely.
6 of them for a variety. You wouldn't be monogamous with one doll?
No, and I also would carry out like the vagina parts, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the accessories and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then go back to LA probably. Oh man, why would I stay down there?
Yeah, you could stay in the factory.
No, yeah, maybe the stat factory, and then but I think thirdly, I would run out of electricity, right? And I think my demise would come slowly.
Well, you could find sources of electricity because nobody's using it.
But I don't know how to turn the machines on. Like I don't know how to go to the fucking
Yeah. It's
What
true.
do you call it? The place where it's I don't even know what it's called. The place where you know what I mean, where it all
The energy is generated.
the
Yeah.
generators. Like,
Yeah.
where do I go?
Yeah. It's good
Okay.
questions. All right. Would you rather lose all your old memories or never be able to make new ones? The past or the future?
No, I mean I can't lose my memories, all of them. That makes me who I am.
But you wouldn't be able to make new ones. You wouldn't be. So
But
you'd be living in the moment nonstop with all the. But you did say you're in a really good place. So maybe this is a pretty good set of memories you got. You got all the
what you're just
trauma.
yeah. I mean, that's a nightmare. You just created a nightmare for me. That's a nightmare.
The choice.
The choice is a nightmare. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fucked either way.
It's already beautiful. It's a kind of death. Not being able to make new memories. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
You get to relive the memories you have.
As a science guy, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Are you afraid to die?
Yeah, of course. I'm not. Of course, I am. I think about it every day.
Death.
I meditate on my mortality all the time.
Right.
It doesn't
And
make any sense. It's terrifying.
it's terrifying. And are you terrified because of the unknown or because you believe it's nothingness?
The unknown, but my best guess is that it's something like nothingness, and that nothingness is
So terrifying.
the infinity of the nothingness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ram Dass says, and this is something that I always, you know, Ram Dass?
Mhm.
Yeah. Ram Dass says he believes that death is like removing a tight shoe, like release.
Yeah.
Like, that could be it too. I think maybe when we die, that's initially maybe the last feeling that we have is release. And then if that happens and there's nothingness, I think that's cool.
Well, no, that has to do more with the actual feeling of death, which I think some people are afraid of. The experience to make sure it's one of release, like you said.
Yeah.
But the existential aspect that you no longer exist, like all the shit you're doing, kind of assumes you'll live forever.
Right.
Like you don't really like all your career and all that kind of stuff. You, Bobby Lee, will be forgotten,
I know.
like completely erased.
Yeah.
So all you have is a few moments in this life, a few moments of joy, a few moments of trauma, of suffering, and that's
I
it.
know. But here's the
And you're wasting your time today talking to me, and then you have a few such moments. You'll
No,
do a
no.
couple hundred more podcasts, and then you'll be dead.
No, because this right here,
Yeah.
dude, right, is human. Number one, I walked through a little fear today, so I learned something,
Yes.
right? I'm talking to a science guy, which I never thought I could. You're the first scientist I've ever talked to,
Yeah.
right?
You get a diploma at the end of this.
Oh, good. And I believe that there was a connection,
Mhm.
right?
Not in a gay way.
Not in a gay way, non-gay connection,
Yeah.
right? In certain circumstances, I probably would blow you.
Would you?
In a certain circumstances, like if we were the
I-
last two people on planet Earth and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, those are probably the only ones. But or like somebody put a gun to my head, like, you gotta blow Lex.
Okay. That's,
Yeah,
that's
then I'm
kind of
like,
a turn
all right,
on.
yeah.
I'm turned on right now. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
yeah, one more. Go ahead.
one question.
Go ahead.
What do you think is the meaning of life?
My fucking, that's the last one.
Yes, this is the last one.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why are we here? Why are you here? Why are we here? Does any of it make sense to you?
I think ultimately, here's why I like life in general is what we talked about. Like we view death, there is a mystery there. There's a wonderment to it, right? So it's like when I walk outside, you know, and I look at the trees and I look at buildings that man made these buildings, and you know, I look at the universe and I look in the sky and I don't really completely comprehend what's going on, right? It's just I'm in awe of all of it, right? And I don't have any answers, right? But that, I think, is what the meaning of life is to be in awe of it and the wonder of it all. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, just open your eyes to the wonder of it all.
Yeah.
While we're still here.
Yeah.
Bobby, It's a huge honor to finally meet you. I've been a fan for many, many years. It's an honor that you would even consider blowing me in the correct kind of circumstances.
I think you would blow me in the right circumstances.
I think that's the definition of love. Bobby, thanks so much for talking,
buddy.
brother.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this conversation with Bobby Lee. To support this podcast, please check out our sponsors in the description. And now, let me leave you with some words from Kurt Vonnegut. Laughter and tears are both responses to frustration and exhaustion. I myself prefer to laugh, since there's less cleaning to do afterward. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you next time.